My name is Mitchrankin, and I share ideas that have been useful in my life. I love what Seneca said. It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it. Life is long enough, and a sufficiently generous amount has been given to us for the highest achievement if it were all well invested. Life is long if you know how to use it.
I want to tell you a story that you might not know about me. Sue and I grew up in a farming area in White River. Our parents knew each other through Round Table and through church. And we've actually got pictures of being together at a 5-year-old birthday party. So that's a long time back. We never really got together or were friends until later on at school. And we started dating when we were in our final year at school. And then over the next sort of 10 years, we traveled extensively. And we only got married when we were 28. And that was the start of a lifelong commitment that we made to each other to spend our lives together, come what may. And we were both young, hot-headed, independent people with very different ideas, very different backgrounds, even though we came from similar families, different ideals, things that we wanted out of life. And that caused a lot of conflict in the beginning. But the commitment that we'd made together to, make it last and just go the whole distance was the thing that was first and foremost in getting this relationship to work long term. And as we started working, obviously more pressures came along and more things came into our relationships, and then kids added another dimension. And the two things that actually helped us get to this point where we have a flourishing, wonderful relationship that is an integral part, and is probably the most beautiful part of our lives, because everything revolves around our marriage and our relationship with each other. Our number one, being able to tell the truth, and number two, being able to negotiate. And I think, especially in my life, I'm pretty, strong-willed. So is Sue. We've both got thoughts about things that we believe in. And initially in our relationship, those were poles apart. And now they're very, very closely aligned. But it took time of telling the truth about the things that we believed that we wanted in life, and then negotiating to a point we were both willing to compromise so that we could come out with an amicable solution that would work for us in our relationship, so that together our relationship would grow. So we weren't two people anymore, just moving along. We were now intertwined and interlocked completely. And to make that work, make that relationship work, it's almost like thinking about a machine. There are two different operators operating one machine. And to make the machine work efficiently, it needs those two ingredients: truth, telling the truth, and being able to negotiate. And focusing on those two things have created a respect for each other and a deep love that has really enriched our lives and created such a beautiful environment for us to live in together. And I know, looking at my life now, is we've had success in business, and we've had success with our children, and we've got a brilliant relationship. And none of those things could have been achieved to the degree that they have without us committing and having a great relationship, because that's the middle of it. That's the center that makes everything work and makes it beautiful. And those are the things that I often reflect on, because I can still go off at a tangent, and I can still want to do the things that, are better to me. I mean, the wind's blowing, I just want to go and kite, or I want to go for a surf. But I might have said to Sue, we're going to go and do something else, or we've taken Sunday as a family day, and that's our priority rather than chasing the wind. And those fundamentals and those habits are things that we try and teach our kids as well, is that sometimes, you can't put yourself first. In fact, most times you can't put yourself first. You've got to think of the other person in the relationship, otherwise that relationship won't work. And I think that's been the success, certainly to my life, in being happy, is knowing that when I come home, I have a very solid base without conflict. I have a place that's safe for me, and that's come out of a place of taking the relationship and prioritizing it and putting habits in place that make that relationship work, and doing things that actually prioritize the other person's feelings, putting Sue first, And I can honestly say that for me, that's been the success of our relationship, and how, we can see a wonderful future, for ourselves. We've been chatting about what do the next 10 years look like for us? How do we, engage in the next 10 years? How would we include the kids in that as they're growing and they might find partners in life and get married and move on? What does that look like for us? And how can we make that a beautiful part of our lives? And all of that comes down to just being connected and doing those two things, telling the truth and being able to negotiate, and not just defending your position to the end and, creating conflict. And those are the things that I have to remind myself of all the time. And those are the things that are going to carry us forward in our relationship. And I hope that's useful to you, because those are things that can possibly help you in achieving what you want out of a relationship, out of a marriage, and making your life so much more rich and fulfilling.